So many people sit on the floor in their videos, and I thought I'd try it out and see how it goes. Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you're new here. My name is Angelica. I read so many books this month. I read 7 books, well technically 6, but I'm counting the 7th as being read because I read the majority of it in October, and it's only November 1st and I'm gonna probably finish it today. But I read 7 books this month, which is the most books that I've read any month this entire year, which is actually incredible. I really made up for my reading slump that I had in September by just reading like crazy. And really what got me out of my reading slump was all of the Kindle Unlimited books that I read this month. I read Devney Perry's entire Eden series that's out right now. Indigo Ridge, Juniper Hill, and Garnet Flats. Those are the first 3 books. I think I talked about them in my book haul a few weeks ago. But this is the series about the Eden family. So it's all of these. There's 6 Eden siblings, and I believe there's going to be a book on every single one of them. Currently there's 3 out. The 4th one is coming out in January. And then I'm assuming that there will be 2 more after that. I cannot express how much I am obsessed with this family and these characters and this setting. I am bullying everybody I know to read this series. It's just like so short and sweet and easy to grasp, and the first book, Indigo Ridge, is like a murder mystery romance book, and it's just like automatically interesting. It's about Winslow, who is the new chief of police in the small town Quincy, and what I really liked about it is like you are really like, I thought it was like entirely her POV, but really it's about like the Eden family. And she meets Griffin Eden, who's the oldest of the Edens. He owns like a ranch in the little town in Montana. And they really like shouldn't be together because she's the chief of police and he's like one of the members, founding family members of the town. But they end up falling in love, obviously. I really, really liked the first book. It was there was a twist, you know, towards the end. What I found out with these books too is like the twist is not like 3/4 of the way in, it's like right at the end. So you get it really works you up, you know. Juniper Hill is the second one, and everyone loves this one more than the first one, but I think I like the first one a little bit better than this one. I think it's just because the trope is like close proximity and like single parent trope. And like the mystery in this one wasn't as like interesting to me. This one is about the second brother, Knox Eden, and Memphis, who's this woman that moves to town and works at the hotel. And she needs a place to stay, and Knox has a guest house that he rents out to her. And basically they like form a relationship. She has like a little baby that she is taking care of herself. And they become friends, and then they become more than friends, and yada yada yada. The mystery in this one is like kind of stems from Memphis's past, which you don't really know all the details, and I don't know. I just didn't love this one as much, but a lot of people do love this one. So that's the second one I read. And then the last one, Garnet Flats, is about Talia Eden. She's like the doctor in town, and this one is a second chance romance. Her like ex-love comes back to her like after 7 years, and he like married her best friend, and she was heartbroken, and he just like, let me explain to you, and like there's this whole tangled web of drama basically that ensues. But I don't know, I love Talia and Foster. This one not that many people liked. I think it's because of Foster's past, but I don't know, this one might be my favorite, honestly. And then in my book club on my Discord, we read It Starts With Us by Colleen Hoover. I mean, it's criminal, honestly, in my opinion, to not rate this 5 stars. I loved it so much. It just like gives you the closure that you need. It seems confusing, but this is the sequel of It Ends With Us, and some people were saying it's like a giant epilogue, which sure, it's like that, but personally I loved it for the closure of Lily and Atlas, and I loved Atlas's point of view. His chapters were my favorite chapters, and I loved the like twist that Colleen added. Again, some people didn't like it. I personally loved it. I think it gave Atlas more depth and added more of a backstory, and like it was hilarious. It was a great addition, personally, in my opinion. Okay, and then I started reading the Twisted series on Kindle Unlimited. I needed a book to like read on my Kindle because I was reading this book, because I was reading another book like physically, and I just prefer reading my Kindle in my bed. It's just more comfortable. So the entire Twisted series by Anna Huang is on Kindle Unlimited. So I read Twisted Love, and yeah, it was questionable for sure. Was it dramatic? Yeah. Was I eating up the drama? 100%. Was I falling for Alex? No, not at all. He's a psycho for sure. So I read the first one, and then I'm reading Twisted Games. This is the one where I said like I'm like 85% away of the way through. I'm like have an hour left of reading. Twisted Games is about the next friend. So like I think it's a foursome. I don't know how you would say when there's 4 books in a series, but it's about the 4 friends. The first one is about Ava. First one is about Ava. The second one is about Bridget. The third one is about Jules, and then the fourth one is about Stella. So I'm on the one with Bridget, and Bridget's is like a forbidden love trope. She's a princess. She falls in love with her bodyguard. I mean, come on, what a classic trope. And it seems like it's the longest book I've ever read. Like when I think back to the early scenes of the book, I'm like, wow, that seems so long ago that I read that. Yeah, so these are like some lengthy books for sure, like 500 pagers, but they're filled with drama, twists and turns left and right. They are steamy. They are steamy. If you want a steamy read, pick these up for sure. And then lastly, Hot House Flower, probably the favorite book of the month that I read this month. Ooh, I don't know. Yeah, it's this one. I was gonna say, I don't know, I really loved Indigo Ridge, but this definitely goes above Indigo Ridge. Hot House Flower by Kristen Becker Ritchie. This is the 5th book in the Addicted Calloway Sister series. I love these characters with all my heart. Oh my gosh, I was devastated when I finished this. My friend Carrie annotated the book for me, and that was just like so special. It felt like she was reading it next to me, and I'm gonna cherish this book for the rest of my life. I loved it so freaking much. The Calloway Addicted series follows 6 friends through addictions, love, celebrity drama, heartache, adventure, parental drama, etc., etc. It is such a good series. It reminds me a lot of like Gossip Girl type thing. So if any of that interests you, definitely check out the Addicted Calloway Sisters series. All right, November TBR. Let's get into it. I only have 2, well, I guess maybe 3-ish books that I'm planning to read on my Kindle. I have both the last 2, Thrive and Addicted After All, already downloaded on my Kindle. Those are the last 2 books in the Addicted series, and they're like the next 2 in the entire Addicted world of books. So I'm definitely gonna at least read Thrive. I don't know if I'm gonna read both of them, but I have them both downloaded just in case. I just want to kind of like get through it. But for sure, we'll read Thrive in November. And then I think I wanted to also pick up Twisted Lies, which is the 3rd book in the Twisted series, the one about Jules, in November as well. This one is like enemies to lovers, and it just seems like it's gonna be really dramatic and spicy, and I love all of that. And I think it'll be nice because we're like going back into the US where like Twisted Games takes place in this like fake country. At least I think it's a fake country. All right, the next stack of books are all books that I have physically, which is kind of the opposite of last month. I read so many books on my Kindle last month. Okay, first up, The Guest List by Lucy Foley. This one I feel like it's a solid 4 stars. Usually where people really like it, but they can predict kind of the ending of it. It's a thriller. I'm excited to read a thriller. I'm excited to like have a break of all the romance that I've been reading, and I might even convince the book club to read this one for November. We'll see. I'm gonna pitch it. We'll go from there. But this one is an exclusive wedding on a remote Irish island. The bride, the plus one, the best man, the wedding planner, the bridesmaid all have a secret, all have a motive, but only one is a murderer. Gives me Clue vibes for sure. Gives me Lord of the Flies energy. And I think they're all like, chapters are, okay, it's told in third person, gotcha. But yeah, I'm really excited to read this. It seems like it could be a quick read for sure. Next is a nonfiction. I haven't read nonfiction in a while. I used to be obsessed with reading nonfiction, but it's been a hot minute. This is My Body by Emily Ratajkowski. I think that's how you say her last name. This is a deeply honest investigation of what it means to be a woman and commodity from Emily, the archetypal multi-hyphenate celebrity of our time. Yeah, that's what the back says. I don't really know what else it entails, but I hear it's a great thing to read about. She was a model. Maybe she is still a model. I don't know. The font is like huge. I feel there's only like 200 pages. I feel like I could probably read this in a day. So definitely gonna try to read this in November. Next is a Taylor Jenkins Reid book. I've never read this one. This one's called One True Loves. Emma Blair marries her high school sweetheart Jessie. They build a life for themselves in Massachusetts. They travel the world together. And on their first wedding anniversary, Jessie is assigned in some faraway islands and his helicopter goes missing. Just like that, Jessie is gone forever. Emma quits her job, moves home in an effort to put her life back together, and years later, in her 30s, she runs into an old friend, Sam, and finds herself falling in love again. And Emma and Sam end up getting engaged. It feels like Emma's second chance at happiness until Jessie is found. He's alive and he's been trying to come home to her all these years. Now she has a husband and a fiance, but who is her one true love? And what does it mean to love truly? She has to listen to her heart. She's not sure what it's saying. I'm excited to I think this is a romance book. It sounds like it. But I haven't truly read a romance from Taylor Jenkins Reid yet. Like Evelyn Hugo and Malibu Rising I would consider them both just like fiction books. So yeah, I am looking forward to reading this. I got this at my local half price books, which was really exciting to find. Next is a book that's been on my TBR for so long. Honestly, I think it's on like so many people's TBRs. The Dead Romantics. I should have read this in October. Like maybe I should just wait till next October but I also just want to like get through it and like read it. This is apparently about a ghost, a woman who falls in love with a ghost. I don't know. This one's, we'll see. We'll see if I read this. Not sure, but I kind of just want to get to it, you know? And then last book I have is Ghost by Dolly Alderton. Definitely a ghosty themed TBR, but this one's more about like ghosts like on social media versus spiritual ghosts. This one seems kind of like a coming to age, but you're not. What does that even mean? Let me just read the back. Nina Dean is not especially bothered that she's single. She owns her apartment. She's about to publish her second book. She has a great relationship with her ex-boyfriend and she has enough friends to keep her social calendar full and her hangovers plentiful. And then she downloads a dating app and does the seemingly impossible. She meets a great guy on the first date. He's perfect. He has floppy blonde hair. They get along, and then he ghosts her, and she's forced to deal with everything she's been trying so hard to ignore. It's a funny, tender, admittedly moving, relatable ghost is a whip-smart tale of relationships and modern life. So I really liked that synopsis from the back when I read it. It also feels like it might give me some good inspiration on the book that I'm writing, since I feel like I'm trying to have a tale of navigating relationships, both romantically and friendship relationships in a modern world. So yeah, excited to read this one this month. I think there's some, when you I feel like when you make a TBR, there's some books that you're oh, I'm for sure gonna read, and there's some that you're maybe not as for sure gonna read. The ones on my Kindle, for sure, we'll read that. This one, for sure, And I would say these two, the guest list and my body, for sure. Like, if I had a bet me at the end of this month what books I actually read, I think it's gonna be these three, and then the Thrive book and Twisted Lies. Yeah, I think that's probably what I'll end up reading. So yeah, that is my November TBR. Let me know what you guys have read in October, if you've read any of the books that I mentioned, and what you're looking forward to reading in November. I would love to hear it, and I'd love to get some good book recs. If you've made it this far and you like enjoy hanging out with me, just subscribe already. I'd love to have you and hang and chat in the comments. It's been a lot of fun making these videos, and I have so many more videos planned for November. I'm really excited. I've already filmed one this morning, and I'm gonna probably film another part of a video after this. It's been a lot of fun to do these, so I'm excited to go on this journey with you. I have Instagram, Twitter, TikTok, all that stuff. Please follow me there if you want to hang out. And until next time, I'll see you later. I miss you already. Bye. Did you stop recording? Oh, I hit the wrong button.